Ani Buju, Anishinabek, May Mishkoi Gabo Nijnakas. Migizian do dame, Gaba Baga, Kanakagan Dunjaba. Miigwech. Miigwech, Chairman Simpson and Ranking Member Pengree, and also the members of the subcommittee. Thank you for the opportunity for testifying, for letting me to testify regarding White Earth Nation's federal funding priorities. White Earth Nation is established in the Treaty of 1867 and is comprised of 36 miles by 36 miles of land within the northwestern Minnesota. Our homelands remain central to our identity, culture, and economic future, the future of our children and our people. One of the things I wanted to, say thank you to is, the chiefs that sit alongside me here. We meet quite a bit, and, these things, these priorities that we put in place, that it kind of just echoes through all the nations through Minnesota. And I'm really grateful to be out here and to sit in front of you and to let you know that we work with everyone, like Chairman Seki says. One of the first priorities we have is the tribal stewardship and the Tamarack National Refuge. The top priority of White Earth Nation is restoring tribal stewardship of the Tamarack National Refuge, which lies within the original boundaries of the White Earth Reservation. The Tamarack Refuge is established under the 1935 Collier Agreement between the Biological Service and now the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Throughout these lands are within the reservation contains culturally significant areas used by our people for generations. The White Earth Nation currently has a limited authority of their management. And one of the things I want to stress is we've been meeting with the Fish and Wildlife on this, and it's been really good talks. I know that one of the things that was that I can recollect back to this is our wild rice beds that sit back in those areas, and those are our original wild rice areas that we used to have our rice camps and our fish camps, and as Anishinaabe people, we would paddle, we were nomads. We would go from our camps to camps, for our fishing camps, our fall camps, our berry picking camps, our maple sugar camps. So this area is really significant to us, and it sits within our borders. And the refuge has been doing. Don't get me wrong, the refuge has been doing a great job of managing it. But with the, I'm going to get into this is like the shortfalls that's being today is the cuts. And meeting with their staff and meeting with the Fish and Wildlife out here. Last time I was out here a couple of weeks ago and talking to the head of Fish and Wildlife is like, I know there's more cuts coming. And one of the things that we stress here in White Earth is, co-stewardship and management. That's what we're good at because we manage our own forest within our nation, which is the White Earth State Forest. So we manage that. We have a robust DNR, Natural Resources Department. And we feel like it's our time, after all these years that, helping and working with and being good partners and neighbors with these agencies and also the state. I feel like it's going to be time here very soon to ask for these original lands back to White Earth. So I think the main thing here is stewardship and working towards this with this administration and next administrations in the future, that hopefully that that these that we'll be able to manage all these areas one day within our borders, so we can offer these for our children and in the public that they can come utilize these beautiful areas. So thank you. And next up, the next priority we have is our transportation infrastructure. And this is one piece too that the team and I, we sat down in Congress Paris to authorize the National's surface transportation programs before September 30th, 2026. We urge that robust funding for all tribal transportation programs. This is one area too where we're so big and we have such rural communities out in the. It takes like an hour from one corner to the other corner of the reservation. So transportation is a must, and the jobs that we're producing, the jobs that we do on our reservation requires for employees to get from point A to point B to their work. So these are things that are really, really important to White Earth is our tribal transportation. And we've been working with the transportation department too on that. So, and that's one area where we really want to see that program be fully funded. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was environmental justice and protection of our treaty resources. And these are things, I guess, that continues to face environmental challenges affecting our treaty, protecting our lands and waters. One example is and Enbridge Line 3 replacement project, which was now runs through our treaty territory and our watershed to connect our headwaters of the Mississippi River. And I guess as Ogamas here, as chiefs and leaders here that sit at this table with Congress, is like we're here to fight not only for our water, but the future of our children. You know, these are things that we look at. It's not only our children that I'm talking about. I'm talking about everyone's children I'm talking about. Is like, how do, you know, myself and the other tribal nations that we represent, you know, that we're water protectors, and, you know, we do everything we can to save our Nibi, you know. And I think this is something that I think is really, really important, that at least, you know, when you're looking at doing these projects or looking at cutting into the ground, you know, you think about your grandkids. So I think these are things that I really feel like it's really, really important, especially to myself and, you know, to all of us here that sit at this table, that, you know, take in consideration the next 7 generations, you know. And I think that's something that I'm really, really kind of, I'm glad to get to sit up here and sit with you and express this to you. So something I'm not, you know, reading off the paper, but something I'm really honored to be here and to let you hear me. So
thank you.
Miigwech, miu.
Thank you for being here today. Virgil?